Preferential hiring. When hiring for a job that deals with the Indigenous community or Indigenous issues, it is quite common for the job description to state something similar to, preference will be given to qualified applicants with Aboriginal ancestry. It's important for HR professionals to be familiar with legislation related to preferential hiring and discrimination. The Canadian Human Rights Commission publishes the Aboriginal Employment Preferences Policy, which explains the legal framework behind an employer's obligation to facilitate the employment of Aboriginal people. It also provides measures to ensure that non-Aboriginal employees or candidates for employment are treated fairly and reasonably. On page 2 of the Aboriginal Employment Preferences Policy publication, under Section 3, Legal Framework, it states that the Employment Equity Act also contains special provisions with regard to Aboriginal employers. Section 7 provides that where a private sector employer is engaged primarily in promoting or serving the interests of Aboriginal peoples, the employer may give preference in employment to Aboriginal peoples or employ only Aboriginal peoples, unless that preference or employment would constitute a discriminatory practice under the Canadian Human Rights Act. Referring to the Canadian Human Rights Act, in Part 3, Discriminatory Practices and General Provisions, it states, 39. For the purposes of this part, a discriminatory practice means any practice that is a discriminatory practice within the meaning of Sections 5 to 14.1. Check out the Canadian Human Rights Act, Sections 5 to 14.1, to familiarize yourself with discriminatory practices under the Canadian Human Rights Act.